part 2 video off by saying that it's not 100% confirmed, but just for general, I guess, safety or something like that, I would try to use the same gauge wire as these. So that means with the power, the same gauge wire as the white ones back there. So I went to AutoZone and they actually had a little bit of it. That's this right here. You can see this is substantially bigger than that one. Different gauge wires have different current ratings. So, and the current is the thing that causes stuff to heat up and catch fire. So, you don't want that to happen. Therefore, I got this from AutoZone. This is the pack that they come in. They're 6 feet a piece. Kind of sucks. It's about $9, but they don't give you that much wire. It's 8 gauge wire. Got these terminals with it though, so that's pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and just alternate my circuit. Basically, it'll be the same circuit. It's just that the wire to and from the power to the fuse box will just be replaced with this, and then I'll put the fused wire going to all of the other connections on it. So in a minute I'll show you guys what that actually looks like. But since that like terminal screws on and everything like that is not a problem with just taking it off. You can literally just unscrew it, switch them around, and screw them back in. So that's that. But yeah, that's how I'm gonna start this one off, and then I'll show you guys how that looks, and then we'll go about mounting this thing into the car. Setting this up just so you guys can see it, but this is like the new way that I'm doing the circuit. So the fuse connection will go to power all the accessories, and then this is gonna be, excuse my like terrible soldering job, but this is gonna be the wire that goes to power the fuse box. We got another terminal that goes into the fuse connection for all of these, and then I'm gonna have to go buy another 6 foot of wire whenever AutoZone gets restocked and connect that to this, and that part will go straight to the battery. And then I'm probably gonna drill out a hole and run a riv nut right there just so that this could be a little more flush, but that is it. I got this stuff zip tied down. I put new tape on it so I can redraw the circuit. The 20 amp fuse is in there, so that's how this will go. Now let's go ahead and get this mounted. Basically the full overview of the finished thing with both wires on each end to fuse box to battery. So I got that all done and everything's mounted in there. I went ahead and put a riv nut in there just so that these can bolt down, make it a little bit more clean. And don't worry about the electricity transferring through that. First off, the zinc plating is not really conductive, and on top of that it's going to be mounted to a painted surface, so I shouldn't have any power leakage power what am I trying to say, shorts. But the point I was making earlier, you can clearly see how these are two different gauges. This one will have a lot more current ability, and this one may overheat, and that could potentially cause fire, so I didn't want to do that. That's why I'll be switching this one out. But as far as mounting this, I'm gonna go ahead and use 3M tape, double-sided tape. Pretty straightforward, just stick it in there. So go ahead and take this out, put it on the back real quick. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You just stick it on the back. It's double stick tape, so one side is already peeled off, and then you peel off the red part and then just stick it in there. So that's pretty much it for getting this in there. And then I'm gonna just run this wire through that little grommet back there that goes into the trunk, and that'll be that. And then we'll just run this to the fuse box. First things first, you have to get this wire routed through there. Basically travels along the inside of this all the way here, which is where my terrible previous owner battery relocation was done. But once I redo this, the battery will be back here. So this would go straight to the positive terminal, and this I'm gonna swap all this out, but this would be the positive terminal about right here, so that's enough wire. And that travels through here. And right back here, and mind you, this is only 6 foot of wire, and the fuse box itself should bolt up. Move this up. The fuse box should be right here, so it would just bolt in right there, and that'd be good. Now, on my previous video, when I said that this powers the fuse box, it does. However, if you route power to this terminal directly, you are bypassing the alternator fuse. So if that's something that you care about, then I think it mounts on this side or something like that. I'm not 100% sure how to not bypass the alternator fuse, which is this one, on this, because I don't know what the other side of it is. Because the alternator cable connects to this terminal right here, and I guess it goes to the fuse and powers this, but I'm not 100% sure on that. However, I do know that powering this directly powers the fuse box, but it will be an unfused connection, so just be wary about that. But yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and struggle for another 30 minutes to get literally one connector on here, and then I'll go ahead and mount the box. So once you got this in there, it takes forever because it's, I don't know, like they just don't want to go back in the terminal. Once you got this in there, you can route that wire however which way you want to this panel or whatever panel you got. I'm probably gonna route it straight across because I don't have enough wire to go around, but yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But I just wanted to show you guys how it's in there and everything like that. All right, so this is the final result. As far as like you being able to see it, if I close this panel all the way, you wouldn't see that red wire. But you can't tell at all unless you come back here to where the battery is. But yeah, once everything's buttoned up, you wouldn't know anything about anything. Now, granted, I got one little wire that's poking out from where I routed it because I routed it back and under. But the fuse box itself, the power distribution is mounted. Everything's good. I just gotta close this panel up, but I'm gonna leave it open just in case I have some problems in the future. So that is pretty much that. Yeah, just make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, follow the build. Everything's in place under there. More content coming. Probably gonna take these out and wrap these soon, since I got that extra fabric and the dash is already wrapped. I need to figure out how to get spiders out of this car because it's starting to get on my nerves. It's starting to make webs on the inside now. Like I don't work on this thing every day, but more to come for that.